I splashed some water. Whoops. I like that ethereal. Anyway, this stream is brought to you by Carlson Super D Omega 3. I'm just kidding, of course. This stream isn't brought by Carlson, but I figured why not promote something I'm very passionate about. Fish oil. And cod liver oil to be specific. And it's a glass bottle. And yeah, very good for you. Let me see. So, still working on getting as much stock made. Let's see, I put all my little copper bits. Cannot wait to melt this. Trying to find a new torch. But let's see. With this humble bag of strings and threads. These ones are just my favorite. And yeah, I want to start making some cords. And I'm thinking maybe do like the kumihimo, the Japanese rope making weave, which is you use a circle, which I just use a piece of cardboard. And for some reason I'm not seeing it. Let's see. Where did I put it? I guess I could just make another one. Let me turn this fan on. It's getting quite hot already, but I welcome the heat because I really don't feel alive in the cold. Okay, so I got up to get something. What was that something? Kumihimo thing. Is it in here? Is it in here? Yeah. Started doing some just basic beadwork on some felt to make some clips. But this is it. This is all I use. And you know, I just decorated it with a Sharpie. But this is all that's needed. And I just pulled out my threads. This is my travel craft box. Don't go anywhere empty-handed. So this is just embroidery floss. I'm gonna grab some random colors. I was thinking of using the ones that are on these cards to kind of use them up, and they might be a little easier to manage. Let's see. Maybe I'll just grab ones that are the hardest part for me is figuring out what is that? Oh, for I want to do an earth tone one. I haven't done many earth tones. I do like adding black to it because a lot of the pieces I make have black in them, so I like to circle back and make sure black is incorporated in the chain. Maybe yellow, maybe orange. How many do I need? Oh, I'm gonna have to look up real quick the pattern. I do want to get a book on all the different weaves. So, okay, just gonna go picture Kumihimo patterns. For 4 . I 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 . 4 No, 8. Should I do all different colors, or maybe? That side, I'm gonna put this side for future. Should I, maybe, okay. You know what, actually I'm gonna keep them on these. Because I don't know how long I'm going to make this, because I don't yet know what I'm going to use it for. This might be a bad idea. Make it unwanted. We'll see. I tend to get this in bulk when I do pick up embroidery floss, because sometimes you'll find them for sale individually, and that's great for certain colors. But I often don't have like a clear project in mind when I pick up craft supplies. I just tend not to be even remotely capable of passing them up. That's not it. I really wish the companies that made embroidery floss had a very clear starting tail, because it gets all knotted up. I personally, if I'm doing like a long chain, I'll just take a clothespin and knot them all together. I mean, not, I forgot what I was talking about in the middle of me talking. I will wrap it on a clothespin, like this. What's some darker color? I think I have 6 so far. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 more. And since I'm gonna braid this, I'm gonna give plenty of extra extra tail, if that's what it's called. I like braiding it because then when you tie it on your wrist, you can untie it a lot easier. And I like being able to take them off. I made mine kind of like a compass, northeast, southwest. Okay, so this is the awkward part. I haven't done this actually in a while. I haven't needed any. Okay, so we're gonna go here. Do I want the blues opposing? No, you know what? I'm just gonna let it do what it wants to. I'm gonna put the colors in order where they feel like they want to go. And because they're all tied together, yes. However, they are like positioned like when they feel like they want to go places. Pink, magenta rather. Oh, why did I do that? Okay, so we got our jellyfish, our Kimahima jellyfish. Excuse me. And so I just gotta remember what direction to go in. put these blues next to each other because the gold looks like it wants to be on the right. Okay, that's it thus far. And see, it's just a piece of cardboard. I'm choosing these crafts to show because anybody could cut a circle out of cardboard, and this embroidery floss is sold just about everywhere. And gosh, even the local library had a crochet kit. Let me put this down more. I organized a little bit in here. I'm trying to get my vintage back organized now. It's not too cold for any of it. And yeah. If you see code lock in the comments, go follow him. That's Snappo. And he's going to be starting to post all of his programming stuff. Okay, so if I put this up here and this down here, is that it? Let me just watch a quick video. Or no, I'll just use this computer. Working on badges for KYNTO, however, like, there's like a blockage or something. I think I'm gonna try it on the iPad, and use Procreate. So 8 strands. I really want to try it with beads. Oh god, it's so beautiful. And wire. Oop. I meant to just take that drawing down. On a website called Dream a Little Bigger. Okay. So if I move, moving arrows isn't helping. Okay, that felt no. My mind is like stretched like a dry rotted rubber band right now. For some reason, that's just. Okay, I'm just going to watch a video again. 8 strands. Can he move? Make sure it's muted. Okay. What? Why am I having such a hard time with that? What? Okay, so go back. Go back. So this here. say like the opposite. There's tons of different braids and weaves you can do with this, and this technique, and so I'm not sure exactly if this is the same one I've always done, but we'll find out eventually. I made a huge mistake on weaving some of this thread too long. Alright, so this, and then when you get the flow, it goes by really quick. Okay, guess that feels right. I have a soldering stand I might try to attach this to, because it is kind of a pain. I really want one that has legs. I always kind of planned on trying to make one, but have yet to put much of an effort into that. It looks like a little stool or something, but use it to make rope. And you could do this with thicker thread. I've done it with yarn to make really nice thick cord. And of course you could do it with ropes to make a thick rope. One day I will master making thread outside. I'm not very good at it. I've been wanting to learn from anyone specializing in bushcraft. I learned so much better from people than on my own. I learned fine on my own. It's just I get very distracted from the things I really want to learn. And the best part about this is it keeps the tension for you. When you lock the thread in place, the tension is fine. You could set this down. I think doing this thread like this was a mistake. I'm gonna have to be very still. Excuse me. I have been talking a lot more than I usually do these last few days. I unfurled these two colors a little too much, so it's kind of a pain. Okay. This might actually be nice to do outside. Yeah, I think if I'm gonna keep doing this, I'm gonna do it outside. Because it requires so much just to, like, the technique and this itself, very simple, but I keep getting knotted, so I think I'm going to do that outside. Oh. Thank you! I keep meaning to change that one. These were just like, how do you say, pastels, and I tried to do them within 5 minutes. I like the top one, but that bottom one, I keep meaning to replace it. I have a lot I can replace it with. Oh, that's where they went. I have to cut this thread off. I keep getting I started making more charms. These are actually going to be either keychains or to hang on a rearview mirror. I just use watercolor paper and just little doodles, and then I'll cut them out. Well, first I'll seal it with Mod Podge quickly, and then I'll cut them out and put resin on them. I have an example here. Like Negative Nancy, the positive prostitute, the one who hates her life but loves her job. I mean her. Negative Nancy. That's her. And a bunch of them. Got a sword. And these are just doodles from watercolor paper. And they're quite thick. They're plastic. My hands are still very stained. And also green food coloring spelt everywhere. And it's a sword. And it's just watercolor paper and watercolor doodles. I could take these out. This is a peen. Don't know why. But it's got tattoos on it. I call that one Sailor Jerry. This one is very much an experiment, but I quite like how it came out. Adding glitter was the experiment. This one I just added it to the flame. I'm not the best drawing, but I doodle a lot. And I could even put like the letter, I don't know. Like here I put just a weird doodle of a face. And I got like regular things, like I got some mushrooms and some rainbows. Little smiley face. Here's one of the mushrooms. I also, oh yeah, and then this fish. I don't know why, but it exists now. And they're quite sturdy, and they're very light, so they're really ideal for, oh, I remember the S that we all used to draw on just about everything. Made a charm. Trying to make a nostalgia choker. Really needing to get my resin spot organized because this is probably my favorite thing to make. Here's another mushroom. And not just charms. I have tons of molds. I seem to have lost it. As you can see, just about any. I really like acquiring molds because then I could make them in a bunch of different styles. It's just crystals, crystal chips, and copper. I could put anything in these. The one that I made for myself is caught. The one I made for myself has well, it's one of the main reasons why I got into resin to begin with was to be able to preserve the plants that I grow and stuff that I forage from around. And these red and black seeds are absolutely deadly. And I do sell like plants for incense. However, I don't really put those out there unless they're in resin because they are very, very deadly. Jacurdi, or also known as rosary pea. Also, museums, a lot of museums stopped selling bracelets and stuff in their gift shops because the people who make the beads for them, or for the jewelry, if they prick their finger, it gets in their bloodstream and they're just no longer. And if you've seen Blue Lagoon, I know there's it's quite a controversial film. They were cousins, Jesus, but that has mention of the Jacurdi seed, which looks. I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid, So think I think I remember it being a bush in the movie, but it's a vine. Curious if it grows, if there's other varieties. That's something I haven't looked into yet. This necklace, the chain, says it's sterling. It's definitely not. And it's just getting into a tangled mess everywhere I put it. I did. Yeah. I did add that other piece of rosary. I found a piece of rosary. My hand is very stained. I found this piece and the beads that I was given to by an inmate he's going to be incarcerated for the next 30 years, and so he wasn't able to do his beadwork, and I was passed it down a portion of it, and I found a piece of rosary in that, so I added it, and it gets longer and longer. It's so cool. I really want to start trying to buy broken rosaries on eBay to make these, because the colors I don't choose, they just happen naturally, but I like it a lot, and I really like how it feels wearing. Let's see what I could replace this with. I don't do much drawing. I try to do a lot of, like, I'm working on some symbolic pieces. It's like how I could memorize symbols, because sometimes my focus is just bad. But I like drawing, like, doodles. This one I haven't finished, and then I spilled something on it. But I really like the thought patterns behind it. And this is the one I'm working on now. Trying to do, like, masculine and feminine on both sides. And, I like, this I don't plan any of it. But I put, like, the carved round stone and a rough stone, like, kind of like a note to the ashlar, because I really like that as a thought, like the rough stone being molded, but it also could be like, sometimes my mind thinks conformity when I see that, however, life is too complex. Ooh, that's dangerous. I can't believe I still have this. This is my favorite collage I've ever made. It's entitled Y'all Like Corn. Oh wow, I see comments. Let me pull up this here, because I'm rotten at making sure I might be a wee bit nearsighted, to be totally honest. And so, like, I try not to put my face right up on the camera. I don't want to traumatize anyone. Let's see. I do need to organize. I don't know where to put all these. Did a ton of those neurographic pieces in the last few months. A few of them I did on stream. I'm always done to do more streams of these, because these are really cathartic. Anyone can do it. And I started making these neurographic things. I just followed a tutorial online. There's hundreds of videos on it. And I was in the middle of a really bad creative rut. Like, I couldn't think. I still can't think, but at least my creativity is back. And, because that's usually unwavering. But sometimes it does just, like, up and up and up. Oh my god, yay! I have to keep this in a safe place. I'm trying to make a tail for her. It's just a doodle I did, like, on paper. I'm trying to make a card for my mom. And I also tried to start making tarot cards. I want to make a Florida, not tarot cards, oracle deck. I want to make a Florida one. And these are just, like, rough doodles with watercolor. Again, I don't know how to draw. I just really enjoy drawing. Like, I didn't go to art school or nothing like that. I got the Welk, lightning Welk. And this is big. This is the crystals that you can find in Fort Drum. And it's all about time, and I figured The best thing I could use to depict that would be a fossil, especially one that has crystals, calcite crystals. The fossils you can find are incredible in Fort Drum. I have yet to go. I really want to. I will dig for hours and days. So anybody who wants to join in on that, be prepared for freaking days. I really want to try to get to one of those We Are Change events. Like, it's in Florida. They're doing hiking. They're all this stuff that I really want to get back doing. But I can't afford no however much. What does he say? Like 50 cents an episode or something like that. I watched We Are Change for, gosh, years and years and years now. However, I think the censorship, the episodes are just kind of like a Luke unfiltered ad now, which it's understandable, unfortunately, because of the sadistic censorship. It's just rife. And, God, like, filter water, not yourself. Damn. But, understandable. But I really want to check out one of those events. I don't know what the rules are against, like, bringing a buddy. Yeah, because that would be sweet. So I'm working on this one now. I'm trying to make, oh gosh. See, this is the hand that's usually stained by mulberries, so I try to, like, keep it off camera, but yeah, no, I really want to finish that deck, because I'm trying to at least make 50, oh, I had a number, 59 cards, and, I keep running through too many projects at once, so it'll get done eventually, but God knows when, and I'm always looking for ideas, for cards. I see the world through my own feet, and I think, like, also making an oracle deck, there should be more, different mindsets going into it. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I guess, oh. As soon as I said, I want to go outside because it doesn't seem very windy out, the troops are just like... okay. I have my bowl. This bowl, I've had this for years, and it reminds me so much of, like what you would see, like a Buddhist offering in. It kind of reminds me of a little stupa in itself. The Buddhist stupas are very, very extraordinary to look at, even just photos. I haven't seen any in person. I was supposed to go to the relics tour, but I woke up and I was left behind. I haven't forgotten. I'll never forget. They were all placed in the stupa. I don't know if many people know this, but when a lot of Buddhist monks, when they're cremated, they leave behind pearls or relics, and these pearls could vary in shape, size, and color. And every few years, I'll look up to see if they've been, tested. But since it's, dealing in the ancient school of thought, I know that kind of stuff is touchy, but can't help human curiosity. I'm like, what are they? And it's very fascinating, and definitely worth looking into. And they're just called, if you just type Buddhist monk leaves behind pearls, that will surely put you in the right rabbit holes. Very, very cool stuff, and most of my experience lies in Tibetan Buddhism. However, I started going to a Theravada Buddhist place. I'm dying to volunteer, and I've been planning to do some volunteer work. However, right now I do not have a far, and everything around me is very far. And the closest store, it takes 35 minutes on an e-bike. And so I'm out there, and I'm actually sticking up for a Surron and street legal dirt bike, and really stoked for. I am keeping my mind open, but I feel like it wouldn't hurt to have something a little more legal looking, but I live in an area where ATVs and dirt bikes are norms, and the Surrons are so quiet and they're so fast, and they're, like, Snappo has got me sold. I was cleaning last night. Well, not really. I was trying to downsize. I got rid of 3 boxes of just stuff. And, a lot of, like, things that I didn't want to toss because I was convinced I could use them for something, which I have so much of that still. But, I did downsize quite a lot. I had a big box full of old spice bottles. I was convinced I was going to get all the labels off and use them for my shells. I know that's not going to happen, and that box I've knocked over like 50 times in the last week. I just wanted it gone, so it's in recycling. I don't have much of a understanding of the world of recycling. I hear very just like, just different things, I suppose. But, you know, my heart's in the right place, and bonus points for keeping the garbage can from filling up so fast. And you know, if it gets reused, it gets reused. That is above my power. I don't know where it goes after it's done here. But I do try to keep it to a minimum. And it's not for any other reason. I just prefer glass. I prefer glass to anything. Glass and stainless steel. And cast iron, because that's like, you'll have forever. I mean, stainless steel you'll have forever. In Florida, stainless steel doesn't rust, so it's like, stainless steel and aluminum. I don't know what it is about aluminum. You can't cook on it, but, oh, it's so beautiful. It's like this, kind of like a sterling, but a little bit more blue in it. Like, that's what it looks like to me. I really like aluminum. Aluminium to some. Yeah, I keep starting other chains. Trying a new technique of making one at a time instead of starting 5. This one I kind of want to be reminiscent of like a garden party on the beach hosted by fairies. I have, where is it? I seem to have misplaced the last necklace I made. Might be up there. Ooh. Yeah, careful for that. I have really almost scratched my eyeballs multiple times because I sometimes have a floppy piece of wire in my hands. I've been watching a lot of videos on how to tie flies for fly fishing. Oh, it looks so satisfying. I have one of those holders somewhere where it's a magnifying glass and it has the alligator clamps. Harbor Freight sells them. I think they're like $10 if even. It's just amazing. The copper, I really like how, especially green looks with it. Green and red. Where did I put it? It's driving me nuts. I moved so much stuff yesterday. Let's see. Sit in here and... Oh, precious files. I wanted to show I could do just about everything in the resin, including I have a ton of old books and old, like falling apart books. I would never destroy a book no matter how redundant I personally thought it was, because it's not redundant to someone else. And books I think are one of those things that just should be preserved. Resin. This is all stuff in the garden and just finding around. My hands are so stained. I apologize. They look filthy, but that's okay. And in this I also have just a shell, some carnelian, and turquoise. However, especially the ones that are nice and thin, they come with a bunch of different charms, and you can pick your own charms out or tell me exactly what you want on it. What is this? Okay. And I can make the chain longer or shorter. Shoot, I keep meaning to look at the comments, I'm sorry. I'm really glad I decided to start using the shells that I find, because that's what triggered making the copper chain, because I use the copper for just about everything. Okay, brass. I love brass. I actually... It's very messy down here. Because I'm trying to get everything out of the closet, because I've got about a stand worth of this, though. This is a brass box, and it's full of brass, just brass treasures. I found a really nice brass mortar and pestle at the thrift store, and really brass. It feels like treasure, and really like brass. Yeah, that's the best way to tell if a pearl is real too, by knocking it on your tooth. When I was a kid, well, in high school, one of my friends switched my mom's pearl necklace out and put a fake one in, and I wore it, thinking it felt different. She had it not insured. Took it to the jeweler, and it was like, it was just really old. It was passed through my family, and we didn't have many hand-me-downs. I have my godmother's gold ring, and that's about it. From a very, very small, very middle-class family. Everything in my grandparents' house was from Kmart. That, very, very, just, your basic family. But the pearls, I wore them out, and the whole time I felt different. And some lady scratched them on her tooth, and that's when she told me they were fake. I was very young at the time. I think I was in high school. And yeah, that brass box. My friend actually, Polly, gave this to me. Polly is, I briefly moved to Colorado, and I was walking down the street. I had a pet rabbit at the time who I kept in a baby stroller. Honey Pie was his name. And I was walking down the street. It was like negative something degrees, and they're like, you can't have a baby out here. And I was like, it's not a baby, it's a pig, or it's a, blue, it's a rabbit. And that led to a hilarious friendship. And not too long ago, I think a few months ago, he randomly showed up, and with this big brass box. It was quite a treat. And then he accidentally left a bag of silk scarves here, and I was so tempted. I was so tempted. I've never been that tempted in my life. It's like, I didn't even notice, like, 15 of these gone. They're so gorgeous. But no, I didn't touch them. I just salivated a bit. There's nothing better than a silk scarves are just a really great thing. It's something about having just a square of silk fabric. It's really lovely. And they add a lot of interest to just about any outfit. I do like clothes and style and stuff like that. I find it our way to communicate without words who we may be as a person. And I'm not saying like if people dress sloppy that means they're a sloppy person by any means. I just like it as a tool. There goes my grandpa. I can't believe my grandpa's still in here. And silk. I really want to try to get one of the varieties of mulberry that the silkworms, and try to. I've done weaving before. For the hand. I do a little weaving. Like I make looms just on scrap pieces of wood. Oh, that's amazing. No, what's that? That's not it. Yeah! I scored so hard. So, not this. This is also a score. It's a hands woven vest or little sleeveless thing. But this, it's a real 1960s mini dress. So these get harder and harder to find, but oh, I couldn't believe it. Found it at a yard sale. And 1960s, it's very, the wool used, oh my god. This is why the modern clothes don't get me very excited, because the fabrics, everything about clothing from the past is just made better. And not, you know, obviously there's fabrics and stuff that don't really stand up to the test of time, especially here in Florida, unfortunately. Fabric and paper does not do very well here, and a lot of things that get put in garages or attics, they don't make it. And that's why I end up talking to a lot of people, because I just get the stuff that they're gonna throw away. Like someone was throwing away all these magazines from the 1930s to the 60s. And I was like, I don't care if they're falling apart, I'll use it in resin art to kind of try to... So a lot of the advertisements are fascinating. Like, I have a full issue here. I don't know what year it's from. I'm sure it was, but it's nice and tacked. It's 35 cents. Well, let me see the year. It's intact, but hardly. 1943. Trying to do this so, because the front pages do want to fall off. The little horsey chair with the back on it. Fruit. Color advertisement. Perpetual calendar. A lot of advertisements. I like how I'm always complaining about ads when I'm listening to music, and it's nothing new. Pretty neat. I also have a box full of dead stock. My microscopes are on it, but I meant to move this because I have some stuff to stack. You guys never know if you need a microscope. But that's the one's so cool. This one's my favorite. And it comes with a beautiful story. One Christmas, I was walking to Walgreens because my dad needed a pack of cigarettes. And so I was walking into the store, and there was a guy sitting there with a big garbage bag. So unfortunately, he probably lost where he was living, and it was the leftover of his life. Really nice dude. He was trying to give this to a kid, but all the parents are like dragging their kids away from him, and that's what I noticed. So I walked over and I was just like, "Hey, Merry Christmas" and all that, and you know, gave him some bread because I had a job at this point. I live in the swamps right now. I'm in the middle of a bunch of projects, but yeah. So that's when he gave me this. And it was brand new. It wasn't in a box or anything. It was in the styrofoam part, but beautiful. I use this all the time. It is such a treat. I keep meaning to look on Thingiverse or anything like that to see if there is a like a thing I could pull the phone to it, because that would be nice. Oh, yay! I found it. I haven't pulled this down in a while. Always gotta have some swizzle sticks in your collection. And it sucks, I had a Playboy one, and then something dropped and it knocked the rabbit off. I got these are fun. They're golf tees. But it's a woman. And she holds the ball. Looks like, yeah. I was trying to fix it, but this is just... I have to use the lighter to ignite my microtorch because the striker is no more. And the lighter is not working. This is my grandpa's. He was in the Marines. It's from the Army Guard, so probably just got it mailed to him. He always got like military stuff mailed to him. Also, this sexual trivia cache. I'm guessing from a board game. But I haven't been able to see what the date was, like what that game was. And some stuff is just packaging. Like these tags. Great packaging. And ooh, that birthday card from the 60s. Says, I'd bake you a special LSD cake for your birthday. It's great. You don't even have to blow out the candles. They freak out by themselves. It's the brand. Probably 70s, 60s, 70s. That's my guess. And this is cool too. I found this thing of photos, and I like stuff like this, like zipper repair kit as seen on TV. Huh. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, microscopes. Are there? I wonder if there's any things. I cannot believe I found these. So, I got this like when I was a kid at an antique store, because mangoes are definitely my favorite fruit. This is a very old postcard of a mango tree here in Florida. And then I found this begonia from Lake Worth, my hometown. Incredible. So I'm finally able to put both of these in the same spot, because these are my two absolute favorite postcards that I own. Oh yeah. The slides are what was it? Oh yeah. The things to hold the camera, like hold your phone onto the microscope. I don't know if like there is anyone that could either help make one and to print it, or if anybody knows of one on Thingiverse or any 3D printer thing, because the smaller microscope has like a box you could view it in, and I can't find it anywhere. What does this say? Mannequin piss? Mannequin piss. Oh, it's in French, Jesus. Le mannequin piss un jour de fête. Mannequin piss a day of festival. Cette statue est revêtue le jour de fête d'un costume brodé don de roi de France. It's a very short statue. Or child. I'm not sure. Yeah, no, yes, it's very weird, but I can't tell y'all how much this has changed my life, because as a crafter, I don't leave this room very much, and we're social creatures, and I've always been a hermit. However, I've always had a house full of people. My apartment was right in between, like, downtown this and downtown that, so everyone would culminate and then go off to the club they were on the way to, and that was my social life. I wasn't so much into going out, like, at night. I really like going to the beach or nature preserves and stuff like that. I found it! I could put this with the United States history. I thought that was really cool. Cool book, and so did some math on it. However, the isolation really affected me. Like, I noticed my thinking totally changed. Granted, a lot of, like, horrific stuff happens in between that. I actually made a list, because there was so much. I mean, it's a tiny page, but it filled the page. But, yeah, I don't know how we're all holding up, to be honest. But the streaming it was getting to a point, like, I felt like I, like, hardly existed in a way that was, just basic human. The isolation just got to me, and it's like, I have to figure something out. There's not much to do around here. There's, like, events and stuff like that, and I'm looking for people's gardens to help in, to learn even more about growing plants for this area specifically. Oops. Really old St. Patrick's Day card. I thought that was beautiful. And, God, it's wild. And, also my friend group, you know, what else can I say? They were eaten up by politics. It got really negative, and, like, you know, I love debating, and I love discussing, but there's gotta be a little bit of balance, and, like, everything I said was always no, 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 and, like, I was like, okay, I gotta take a step back, learn some new skills, and, you know, find my people. That's what everybody's that's what everybody does. And, internet. Also, I'm coming from a world of crafting. I actually, when my phone got stolen a few years ago, went 5 years without one, and I didn't even have a computer. However, Snappo's a programmer, so I've learned to appreciate technology in ways that I never thought of. And, it's another tool. And to be able to meet like minds, especially, with dealing with, like, after the years of isolation, and just, like, slowly picking up the pieces that are left over in everybody's personal lives, it's been a godsend. And I mean, I've been blessed in the fact that, like, you know, all of y'all are genuinely fascinating people, and, like, it's been such a treat, like, to be able to don't really find like minds, and I don't mean like minds, I just mean curious minds. I actually don't really care about finding like minds. I want to find just curious people, so that's how my mind, you know, opens more and more slowly, is discussing things with other people. I see the world as, you know, in my 8.5 size shoes that I never wear anyway, and it doesn't do me any good to just see the world in just one angle. And so my whole life I've made it a really strong point to talking to anybody I can that wanted to talk. I don't mean like small talk that like doesn't go anywhere, or about like, I don't know, Game of Thrones or something like that. No offense, Snappo's really into Game of Thrones now, but he's from Scotland, so like, I guess I don't know what that meant. I don't know what I was trying to say. I'm not talking shit. I am a little bit. Like stuff and just like ideas. Like I remember just coming up with the best ideas, and they never go anywhere. And like with friends and stuff. And I really want to start building with people, and I think that is going to be so important now. Like, I recommend people check out yard sales, because A, you'll save a bunch of money, but you'll also be able to meet your neighbors. And I think now more so than ever, it's very important. I posted on the local groups, like, if anybody needed any help in their garden, because A, I end up with so many free plants that way, just from pulling weeds, and it happens to be like a plant I'm looking for, or learning how to grow plants, or trading seeds and cuttings. Really fruitful. Like, if you want to start a garden, just go on Facebook Marketplace. No. Go on local groups, like look up your city plus gardening or plants, and just post in there and say, hey, I want to start a little garden. Anybody know of any like fail-proof plants? And you'll get so many messages like, I got you. The plant people are waiting. They really are. Like, I keep posting on my Facebook about mulberry cuttings, but I think one person like expressed interest in growing mulberries in this area. I have tried daily yoga practice. I lasted about a week. For some reason, I try to live very actively, because for some reason, as far as exercising, I can never stay focused. Like, I tried to do a push-up, and I discovered that I could only do 2 push-ups. I could lift insane logs, but I could only do 2 push-ups. That bugged me out. So for the next few weeks I tried, and I got to 11, which I know it's not that spectacular, then I dropped off. But yoga is something I really, really, really want to become way more fluent in. It's so beneficial, and I really like climbing and swimming, and I don't plan on stopping doing that ever. And I really want to start getting into that now. And for some reason I just can't. And the other thing is I'm never sure if I'm doing the poses right. And I know like that is important. And like I remember I tried learning some belly dancing by myself on a YouTube video a long time ago. And I wasn't stretching or anything before. I was up all night crafting. And I pinched a nerve in my leg. I swear to God. And had to walk with a cane for like a week. And they're like, yeah, you gotta stretch and stuff, because bodies are complex. And yeah, thankfully, you know, I have a strange way of coping. I just dressed like Dr. House for a week, or like tweed blazers and jeans, and just walked in. Yeah, Derek Hall, that's, I feel you there. I always say, like, I'm a social butterfly, but I never, like, for some reason I can ramble and ramble here, but if I was, like, I'm so quiet in front of friends. I have a theory, but I think I talked enough shit. I don't know. I just don't understand why, like, the people in my personal life just think of me as, like, funny, and, like, that's it. And they're all artists and stuff, and I just never understood that. And, like, why we could never, like, collaborate and stuff like that. When I bring it up, it's just like, you don't do that. I don't know. I think I've been taken wrong for a long time. And I think the streams are, gosh, the most I'm able to be myself, and it's so sad because I'm alone in a room right now. But it's true. And like, that's why another reason why I love talking to strangers out and about. Like, if I meet my friends at a show or something, like, I don't know why I'm so quiet. I get stage fright in front of people, and that's what I'm trying to break through now. And really trying to, cause I wrote some songs. I want to, record them. Like, even if it's just like playing them on a stream. My face is boiling just thinking about singing in front of someone. I tell this story a lot, but I even auditioned for a play. I didn't know anybody there, so I didn't have that, like, fear. I didn't get the part. And I tried to plead with them. I was like, oh, I can't sing. I really was just trying to be, like, a background person and get out of my shell a little bit. And I clicked Vintage. I could have, like, at least offered. But, yeah, no, they wanted me to sing. And sing, I tried. I forgot the lyrics instantly and just made up my own. And, I just remember being like, and now I'm on the stage. Silence. It's like 4 people sitting and it was like a proper theater. Like the stage, dude on piano playing the tunes, and like the people with binders in their laps. They were not impressed. I don't know, they were so fast. Thank you, Sam Castaneda. Yeah, the breathing is, I try to be more and more aware of that, because growing up, I started going to a Buddhist temple when I was in 5th grade, and I still to this day go back every now and then whenever I can, and, breathing was, I made the monk laugh so hard once, because my eyes, if I meditate, I literally will put a blindfold on to keep my eyes shut because they flutter. I opened my eyes finally, and he's just like pointing at me and laughing. I was like making a little discotheque, and yeah, blindfold for me, and but I do meditate a lot. I know I know there's thousands of ways of meditating and like different things to meditate on to unlock or to get deeper. I just kind of I've been wanting to talk about it for a while, but anytime I try talking about it, someone they either tell me I'm nuts or that I'm trying to be a messiah. Which I didn't understand. That was in a hermetic chat group. And they're like, oh, it's so sick of people trying to be messiahs. It's like, were we just talking about, like, visualization? But, I don't know. Anyway, if you close your eyes and focus on the darkness as if it's a screen, you can feel your vision go up and a different place. And, if you just keep focusing, in my personal opinion, I think it's like the subconscious or some type of thought stream, but like moving images, like not anything attached to imagination, because I can imagine and visualize anything. But there is no prompts. It's just images, and you could focus your eyes. I really wanted to experiment with someone with this because how difficult it is to talk about. And like there's things like closed eye hallucinations. I personally I wouldn't say suffer. I mean, I'm completely night blind, which really sucks, but I have visual snow, and I stopped researching it in like 2012. That's about when and that's when the Visual Snow Initiative was founded. Visual snow is just static, and I see it in shadows at night. Like, shadows at night look like 3D objects. And so if you see me walking at night, like, I really can't see at all, and it puts me right to sleep. And I'm trying to become one of those, like, wake at 4 in the morning people, instead of go to sleep at 4 in the morning. And but I swear to God, I can try to, like, visualize something. My eyes are a little too bright. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. My brain is like going 50 miles an hour. But this is all you do. And like, if I make it a point to do visualization, I don't know what to call it, meditate, it gets easier and easier, and I could even do it outside, like with sun in my eyes. But that's one of the reasons why I never have creative blocks. Besides the other month, and that was winter. I couldn't feel warm. It was impossible. And just because it's like a endless stream of original content, if you will. And I think I did. Not the biggest fan of that one. I kind of want to take it. Oh, that one. No, that's not Aunt Nancy. Huh? So that's from the 80s, and my dad like didn't like it, and I always wanted hand painted like family portraits. I never thought I would be able, but I was able to get that and my mom. And a man did this in the 70s, and yeah, I have a light strapped to it right now. I really need like decent lighting for craft things. Shadows really just interrupt my vision. And I think that's one of the reasons why I can't wear sunglasses. I don't know if anybody else experiences it, but sunglasses, like, it bugs my vision out. I don't know how else to describe it. And I'm in Florida, so sunglasses. Hello, Carlos. And let's just on Call of Duty. I got a new controller. Snappo actually gifted me a new controller, and so I'm back sucking because I think it's so fresh and hasn't been dropped off the desk as much as my my tried and true. But it's just, yeah, it's so like if I try aiming, I'll be like that, and like that, and try to be a little crazy. But if I could adapt to that, then I could adapt to any controller. And then I could always play. And yeah, I like adapting to things. And that's what's so dope about being a human. Like, I love this planet, and I love this species. I wish everyone wasn't fighting right now, because they're fighting for the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. For the dumbest people I've ever, like, I don't know when everyone's decided that they trust the government with their passion, but I have this much interest in going out. I have negative interest in leaving the status quo. Unless it's to swim. What do I do for a living? So I'm in between a few things, and a lot of it ties together. I make jewelry, and I grow plants. The plants I usually sell and offer up, but the seeds and some cuttings I can ship, and also dried herbs. Right now we have Salvia Sekitashishi, which is Mexican dream herb. People add it to incenses and even smoke blends for lucid dreaming. And very cool folklore based around this plant, and it grows beautifully here, and I love harvesting it, and I love adding it to the incense blends. I also make kits. I guess it would just be easier. I make handmade goods, and right now I'm also making pixel art for Snappo's game called KYNTO, and got some things. That one I'm the most proud of. I used the Pico 8 palette, and it's in a proper size, so it would be perfect in Pico 8 game. I do have a Pico 8 like mock-up of the game I want to make. I do not know Lua, but Snappo is a programmer, and I'm thinking he's gonna help me with that part. But that's the mock-up. And you have to get the chickens, not the scorpions. If you get too many scorpions, the UFO crashes. It's just a very, very simple, you know, been done billions of times, I'm sure. But I beginner pixel artist, and I'm slowly getting back into it because I'm making a fire pit right now. And all these are going to be in KYNTO. And KYNTO is a live avatar chat. It hasn't been being promoted yet because Snappo is the sole programmer on it. And if you see code LOCK, like Loch Ness Monster, or LOCK, like Loch, L-O-C-H, I could hear Snappo in the back of my head, like, you're pronouncing it wrong. Loch. Code Loch. I'm not making fun. That's just how it's pronounced. Loch. Loch. I do know some French, but I'm too shy to try to talk. I just know basics. I really like Tandem because they have parties, so you could just talk. It's very interesting to go on Tandem, even if you don't plan on learning a language. Like if you want to talk to some, there hasn't been anyone in Haiti online in like well over a month. Because I have Haitian Creole on my profile to learn, and haven't seen a single person. Mario's still holding up, and there's just nothing left of Port-au-Prince. Horrible. This is also my room. And I did these crystals, and they're really cool because Snappo actually turned them into like transportation. Let me zoom out. Yeah, that's my world. And I did this room. And how you do it is you get tiles, and then you put your tiles down, and then you could just build on top. Easy peasy. And if you see here, this is part of the folklore of my room. They have no clue, but you do. And if you look very closely, it's actually vials. It has the avatars in the vials as if they're powering their own world without even knowing. And the cool thing about KYNTO is there's all different ways to communicate with one another. You could use your mic, camera, typing, and also streaming. coming soon, I believe. And it's very alive. It's very much a living project. Same thing with Subtropical. And do you think you would like homestead? So actually, I moved out to the swamps because Snappo and I are in the middle of growing a edible food forest, and I do have some famine gardens that I'm able to figure out a way to ship just anybody who wants some sort of food security. And you don't even have to get them from me. I could just give some recommendations, like cassava if you live in Zone 10. This is very stable, and you get huge amounts of starch. You have to process it, but you know. So I did want to. I think I might actually move outside because it's just a little stuffy in here. I wanted to wait to see if it's. Every time I mention the wind, it seems like it just. Anyway, the off-grid part here, unless we're able to find a place that has a spring on site, in the future, both of our minds are set on, I think, North Carolina, given if everything ends up okay here, and because I haven't watched the news at all today because I knew I was gonna go on a stream, and last stream I was just like freaking out the whole time because the news is just whoa. Oh, this bracelet. Yeah, maybe I'll keep it as a bracelet. I need to make it a little more bigger. Definitely would need water, because right now, it's I think 1.8 acres, and there's no water. There's a canal, but there's no like bodies of water, and I think that is absolutely key if off-grid is a goal, and there's just hardly anything left here. Developers are just raping. Developers are just developing Florida in places where it doesn't make much sense. Taking what little farmlands are left and putting mass housing in the middle of the swamps is really, really not the smartest thing I've ever seen. And my bad feeling is that it's just going to be abandoned. I don't know who wants to buy a house for $900,000 to live in the middle of a swamp. And that all the farmland was just ripped off, so all those chemicals are still in the soil. You will get no yard. The mosquitoes are spraying, and already, like, I was picking mulberries last night. I couldn't stand out there, and I'm thoroughbred Floridian. Like, you know, I could be dripping in sweat and just, you know, eat a hot bowl of chili. Like, I'm Florida, but the mosquitoes, even I can't take them. And the horseflies. We get these horseflies out here, and you'll get welts. They are so painful for what they are. Tiny little horsefly. I believe they're called yellow flies, and they look like a regular fly until it stings the heck out of you. And I mean, the farmland. I hate to see that go. It just makes no sense. The fuck are we gonna do with all these mass housing communities? All this mass housing, but then the farmlands, is that wise? I don't know what's happening with the farms. I know it's scaring the shit out of me. And I think it's like next level, like, not very smart. I don't want apples grown in a laboratory. I want them growing on piles of cow shit. I don't know. And I don't know much about any of that to give an opinion. And I mean, I need to be a little bit more loose with opinions. It's because, like, nowadays it feels like opinions are permanent when they're not. They really aren't. And, like, you see it, like, when people, like, pull up, like, somebody's, like, tweet, like, a decade ago. I mean, I could get, like, certain things, but, like, opinions just doesn't make sense to me to, go apeshit over, because humans are data feeders, and we're pattern recognizers, and opinions are subject to change. The more information, that might result in a different opinion. I don't think it's possible to have everything figured out, and that's why we need other people. That's why there's so much. Like, not everybody wants the same things, but everyone's acting as if, like, everyone's the same. And, it's just not the case at all. And that's what makes life damn beautiful to me. I love that about it. I love variety, and, like, even, like, variety of thoughts and ways to think. And, that's why I watch any news source. I doesn't mean that I'm taking it without salt. It just, and not only, like, am I trying to absorb information for my own opinion's sake, but I'm also really just open to all information, because then I could talk to more people, because this us and them, like, you know, if every one group is only watching this news, and we all know that the news is just garbage, and if they just plant seeds, that's it, and, like, these days. And I think it's important to watch them all, just so you know how more people think, because if that's what they're watching, and that's the information they're getting, and I don't see anything right or wrong in that. I think it's important to be able to communicate with other people. I mean, there's so many people on this planet. We're in a society, and community is very important. And this is coming from a hermit that, like, rarely leaves this desk, and it's starting to just really terrify me that people are not only dehumanizing themselves, but dehumanizing everybody for just the worst. I just don't understand. I wish it was 10 years ago or something. I don't know. And I feel like I don't know. I mean, all the news things I see now on the younger generation, where, like, it seems like it's really hard to believe in themselves. And you look at what they're being raised within. I mean, in my childhood, the world was made to seem very stable, and it was made to seem like possibilities were endless. And I think there is a healthy balance, like, between possibilities being endless, but also, you know, kind of more realistic. Like, when I was a kid, I didn't really want to be, like, a superstar or anything. I wanted to be an archaeologist. I still want to be an archaeologist. I will dig for free. I am very, very careful. Just let me get some beads, maybe. I think that's an even trade. There's actually a site that I'm really dying to check out called Big Mound City, and we have a few sites. I know the Calusa, the AIS, and the Jaega inhabited these parts specifically, kind of in the middle of a few things, or a few parts, and they didn't use metal. However, they used the nature around them. So you'll find shark teeth out in the middle of nowhere in the swamps, and when you do, you know that people live there, because in this time, Florida was essentially a shallow ocean of grass. And if you look up the ancient flow of Lake Okeechobee here in Florida, you'll see it was huge. I can't imagine what that looks like. And one thing that still surprises me as a Floridian is Florida has the most freshwater springs anywhere in the world. And I can't wait for the dead of summer because they're a little chilly. That's what I hear. And I've never been to one yet. And that blue, like the cenotes of Mexico, that blue, oh my god, it's like surrounded by forest. That's genuinely all I want. So, yeah, saving up for Surron, because I'm going to be swimming every single day I can. I don't even want to walk anymore, I just want to swim. I'll be 100% honest. It's like, how, like, is it legal to just, you know, post up in a houseboat in the middle of, like, intercoastal? Just keep it there, swim to it. There was a houseboat that we used to climb in all the time as a kid. I have some pictures somewhere. Abandoned houseboat. It was abandoned in the 80s, so everything was in the 80s there. Some kids did play, like, a PlayStation in there with a hurricane TV. I left all that. That was obviously somebody else's hangout spot. But what I did grab, I found on the outside was a tiny, like, it had all the wood crumbled up because this thing has been sitting there since the 80s, and it had a bunch of wood crumbled up, and I noticed one piece was very smooth, smoother than the rest of the, like, eaten out wood. It was a little carving of a Buddha with his hands in the air. That was such a magical little discovery. Pulling up a piece of wood just because it looked a little different, and it was a statuette, and I thought that was really cool. And I've been finding and looking for stuff my whole life. It's just, it's my favorite activity, and it's just vaguely finding stuff. Could be anything. Am I out of green? I just put some of the, I'm even using these plastic beads. I'm going to make a big kind of copper candy necklace for those into that. I'm trying to make pieces for other people. And so I prefer custom stuff because then I have a direction, or else I kind of just like poke around. But I managed, and I'm gearing up for markets now. It's the time of year to do markets. No, life is simple, don't make it complicated. It is simple, but it is complicated. Like, when I say life is complicated, I mean, like, to put into words, and, like, arguing about it, or arguing about, like, you know, the human things, like politics, or, personal beliefs, stuff like that. But life to me is pretty simple, you know. There are things that I really want to get better at, like having a constant flow of hot, fresh food coming out of the kitchen. That's something I really want to get better at. And stretching, remembering to stretch. And I'm pretty active, so I don't really notice cramping up and stuff because I'm always moving around. And the stuff that I enjoy doing is, I get more enjoyment out of flipping a log than, I don't know, anything else. Flipping a log, because when you flip a log, there's like thousands of different species doing all of their own things, and that's where my soil comes from, like my favorite soil, the soil that I love so much I just put it on top of pots. This beautiful broken down plant material that all of these little creatures are working towards to do, and you know, you could make a worm bin and stuff like that, but things are gonna eat the stuff, like, and my compost bin, it's black soldier fly larvae, and I didn't buy it or anything, and they just appear. And I'm trying to make friends with the crow, so I've been trying to give it black soldier fly larvae, and it gets it, but I haven't been out at like waits until the door shuts, because I put them in a baking dish. I like adding weird little things that I find and stuff, or have stories, specific little weird, just, why does this exist stuff? But out here it's a little hard to find little random bits. So I'm thinking if I befriend a crow, he'll bring me stuff. I'm in Palm Beach County, Florida. Huge county. Not as big as Miami-Dade, but pretty dang big, I think. Yeah, no, 100%. And I use the example a lot of yard sales because, you know, I don't put too much like thought into like looking for something specific, but I always find the thing I really need in like weird ways. But I'm very like true to myself, if this makes sense. Like I've always listened to my own music, and you know, if it doesn't work for me, you know, I'm fine. I'm back to myself, and I've always been just very open with myself. I don't know how to put this in words. My self-doubt comes when I like I'm engaging in the world, but myself totally fine. So like stupid example is I needed jeweler's saw blades, could not afford to get even a sheet pack on eBay, and went over to tell someone I was going downtown. I looked on the ground, there was an envelope folded right where I was standing, and it was just out in the middle of nowhere. Like, I mean, just in the middle of the walkway. And picked it up. There was only one thing in that envelope, and I was like, oh, what's this? And it's just like, I don't know. And it was a bundle of jeweler's saw blades, like the same day. And same thing with just everything like that. Intuition, I think intuition, just like curiosity and creativity, are muscles that should be exercised. And we do have instincts intact, and like gut instincts and stuff like that, but also other instincts. And like the older I get, the more I realize, like, wow, it's getting to space a human instinct. And the reason why I'm starting to think that is because of the larger seasons on this planet that happen in between multiple lifetimes of humans, so like not clearly documented or understood, like many ice ages or any big change. I'm like, what if our species is like on a volatile, and if this is, I mean, it's little like self theories. I don't put too much. I mean, it's always like free content too for short stories, and I have a few I'm trying to work on. But like every time we get so close, and like a cataclysm. And we get closer and closer to breaching this planet to inhabit others, and that's why it's like such a centered drive, because I think that's really interesting that we do that, as earthlings, shoot ourselves into space off the planet, and space is so spacious, and like sometimes when I can't sleep, I put the International Space Station live streams on, and I wake up, I start going, ah, and go back to sleep. But gosh, like I can hardly walk around at night without just being like, because it's immense, it's wild, it's a wild reality. The only one I've ever known, but that's why when like, I don't know, everything just is astounding. It's just absolutely incredible. And like even growing plant, oh my god, growing plants especially. I'll accidentally break off a twig or a branch. Oh no. Throw it in water just in case. Branch full of roots. New tree. And God's physical manifestation in our reality is an overlay of the spiritual manifestation He created. Hence why He is the Alpha and Omega, the first and last of the process. God is the first and last. I mean, because like, this planet has been here millions of years. Like, we're such a blip. Very curious on that part. Like the scale of it all. Especially the age. And the scale of it. I really don't understand how life is normalized. To put it, like, it's insane to me. Like, there's so much happening in every second, and everything is interconnected. Everything. Like, that's why I like permaculture, because you're introducing things that introduce other things that introduce other things. And then before you know it, there's a whole system in place. And butterflies you've never seen before. And like, incredible. And you'll like, walk by a branch and be like, oh man, look at all these caterpillars. I'm going to have to do something about that. But the plant that's growing next to it has introduced the things that like those caterpillars. So then the next time you look at the caterpillars, they're gone. And it's such a clear example of just like how, I like how trees communicate. I don't know how, like, I don't know. It's astounding. I'm constantly in awe. And I think that's why I'm a little, just stressed by the climate of today, because it's I really want to start getting more entrenched in community and volunteer work and stuff at the local. I like volunteering at different churches, temples, mosques, doesn't matter. Any practice, any belief structure, I learned so much. And I'm a little bit more comfortable with asking questions to more people when volunteering, because I'm on the other side. And because I do like going to services too, anywhere I can. However, I might as well volunteer. And a lot of people, a lot of places have volunteer stuff to do, and it could be something as simple as like handing out pamphlets at the end, or you know what I mean, simple little things. And very, very fun, very great experience. Meet so many people that way, and like people you might not have ever talked to or had a reason to, like an internal reason to. And like, fascinating. I ended up volunteering at an apostolic church for 2 years, and it's a Jamaican church. Nicest people, and I lived right next door, and it was incredible. I was just like, why can't I ever find any work like this, the volunteering I do? Because the volunteer work that's where I'm just the most happy, and you should strive to be happy and keep yourself happy. Know what makes you happy, and every day I learn more and more about myself. And yeah, I really like volunteer work though. Oh, that kind of looks cool. Let me grab. I got a. Am I? Oh, am I? Or. No. I was born into a Catholic family, but I study all practices and religions just to better understand the fellow inhabitants of this beautiful planet. Incredible planet. Best planet. My personal favorite planet. Oh, let me post. I'm gonna put Mario's Instagram in the chat because he's suffering, and I've followed him for years. I love his art. Ooh, I want one of those. Really want a rocket stove. Okay. So it's Attis, Alpha Tango Indigo, Sierra. Is it Sierra? I can't really remember. But he's currently in Port-au-Prince. That's where he lives, but he was, well, the planet is about to, I don't know, so it was, when it was, yeah, he was just, I just want to swim. That's all. That's all. I have I'm a bit lost on like what the future does look like on all I could really think is the developments that are happening everywhere. These mass housing developments. I don't understand. You talk to any real estate agent, and they're like, yeah, there's not a shortage of houses. And they're taking out farmlands to put it in. Like, nobody cares if it's like some empty lot that's been sugar sand for the last 10 years, but the farms. All these, so I'm in Southeast Florida, born and raised Palm Beach County, and, see, that's one thing I'm not ooh, do I want it? Because a lot of talk of the Third Temple is happening right now, and I'm just not too aware of the process, the reasoning. I'm terrified. That's all I can say. The world just seems like it's teetering, and I'm feeling dizzy from the teetering. It feels like being on a ship in a storm right now. It's exactly what it feels like. That's the metaphor I'm gonna stick with when I'm trying to describe this people I talk to. It feels like a ship on a storm, getting a little dizzy, and because see, I value all cultures and religions, just naturally do. Nothing I can do about that. There's not an ounce of xenophobia in my blood. I don't understand it. Everything produces beauty in one way or another. And it's just when it clashes, that us and the mentality, that's why I'm very scared of that. And that's why I make it a point to talk to everybody I can. I love every human I've ever met. And my study buddy for flight school was from Turkey, and like it was just such a charming. And we met because I fell on a dance floor, friend's birthday, and he kicked me in the face. Well, kneed me in the face. So I had a huge fat lip, and his name was Abdurrahman, and he's missing now. I can't find him. But he wouldn't go into any coffee place that sold, because the aroma of a certain material. God, so I wanted to have a discussion. I think my phone's dead. No, it's not. But this is where I really want to start going on KYNTO, because I feel a lot more open there, because I know these streams are permanent, and I know with subjects so touchy and so meaningful to individuals that I just like to feel more comfortable. And on YouTube, I think you noticed I stopped talking mid-sentence because I'm like, that might be taken wrong. And it's not like because I'm saying something wrong, I'm just so afraid of things being taken wrong. Because when it's taken wrong, it seems like people just go with it, and then that's like your entire identity, like, and that scares the shit out of me. Because I'm an open book. I like sharing ideas and thoughts, and just, making connections, not only like in between subjects, but with people. And the abomination of desolation. That sounds so intense. That sounds so intense. I see, like, when I said my family isn't very religious, I didn't mean that they didn't, they weren't believers. I just mean that, like, Bible study wasn't something that occurred in my household. My aunt is, like, that's one of the things she went to school for. The Book of Daniel, describing the pagan sacrifices which the 2nd century BC Greek king Antiochus Epiphanes replaced with the twice daily offering oh, Zeus. Oh, my grandpa! Don't die. Winter. Oh yeah, because Ostara believes the pagan Easter, because I grow plants, so also the holidays have also a mundane aspect to me personally because of the season changes. And Florida, it's either too hot or too cold. Like, I've had full sun plants just fry. The sun gets really hot. really intense. I have a timeline that points into April 30th. Of course, it's my dad's birthday. Leave it to my dad to bring upon the end of the world. Fucking asshole. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. A little, how do you say, like, sarcastic. Oh, let me get the dictionary and just like a little coffee. It just stuck to me. Check it. Oh, that's so cool. I think I need to now make a collection. No, I'm trying to sell off my belongings, not accumulate more. But how cool would it be to have a collection of long, slender books? But check it. It's a Webster's Dictionary from 1895, I think. 1894. Really, really like this. I found it on eBay, but starving artist sent it to Snappo and he's like, no way, and he actually ordered it, so it's here now. You can't get over how compact and nice that is. I can imagine this just being shoved in someone's waistcoat. Rules that apply alike to two or more motions. Unless a rule is given to the contrary in connection with the motion, or, in this table, the motion requires to be seconded or is debatable, may be amended or reconsidered, and is carried by a majority vote. 1. As not debatable. 2. Cannot be amended. 3. No subsidiary motion can be applied to it. 4. Does not require to be seconded. 5. Cannot be reconsidered. What does any of this mean? This is for law, right? Or no? What? Very nice. I want to show Snap for this. He's actually working in the room. practice some reading out loud. Maybe this will be a good time. Oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe this is bad. You know. Brotherhood of the Snake? How about that? Of all the animals revered in ancient human societies, none were as prominent or as important as the snake. The snake was the logo of a group which had become very influential in early human societies of both hemispheres. That group was I need to practice reading out loud. This group was a disciplined brotherhood dedicated to, oh my god, disciplined. I don't know why I never connected those words together before. That's why I really like, oh, rest in peace, I was thinking Gonzalo, but rest in peace also, Jordan Maxwell, regardless of, like, his opinions or whatever, I really like how he was connecting words, and, the etymology, and, the group was a disciplined brotherhood dedicated to the dissemination of spiritual knowledge and the attainment of spiritual freedom. This Brotherhood of the Snake, also known as the Brotherhood of the Serpent, but also, which I will often refer to as simply the Brotherhood, opposed the enslavement of spiritual beings, and according to Egyptian writings, it sought to liberate the human race from custodial bondage. Because Brotherhood teachings included physical healing through spiritual means, the snake also came to symbolize physical healing. I mean, you see it on the medical logos. Today, the snake is featured on the logo of the American Medical Association. The Brotherhood has also imparted scientific knowledge and encouragement the high aesthetics that existed in many ancient societies. For these and other reasons, the snake had become a venerated symbol to humans and, according to Egyptian and biblical texts, the object of custodial hatred. When we look to discover who founded the Brotherhood, Mesopotamian texts point right back to that rebellious God Prince Ea. Ancient Mesopotamian tablets relate that Ea and his father Anu, I've heard of Anu, possessed profound ethical and spiritual knowledge. This was the same knowledge that was later symbolized as trees in the biblical Adam and Eve story. In fact, the biblical tree came from a pre-biblical Mesopotamian works, such as one showing a snake wrapped around the trunk of a tree, identical to later portrayals of the snake in Eden. From the tree in which Mesopotamian depiction hang two pieces of fruit. The right of the tree is the half-moon symbol of Ea. To the left is the planet symbol of Anu. The drawing indicates that Ea and Anu were associated with the snake and its teachings. This connection is affirmed by other Mesopotamian texts, which describe Anu's palace in the heavens as being guarded by a god of the tree of truth and a god of the tree of life. In one instance, Ea reportedly sent a human to be educated in that very knowledge. Adapta, the name of an early man, thou art going before Anu the king. The road to heaven thou wilt take, when to heaven thou hast ascended and hast approached the gate of Anu, the gate of Anu, the bearer of life, and the grower of truth at the gate of Anu will be standing. Do I keep going? We therefore find Ea designated at the reputed culprit who tried to teach early man, Adam, the way of spiritual freedom. This suggests that Ea intended his creation, Homo sapiens, to be suited for earth labor. But at some point he changed his mind about using spiritual enslavement as a means. If Ea was a true historical personality, as the Sumerians claimed, then he was probable leader of the Brotherhood at its founding of Earth. The Brotherhood may have adopted snakes as its logo because Ea's first home on Earth was said to have been constructed by a serpent-infested swampland, which Ea called Snake Marsh, Florida. Probably didn't exist back then. Well, I'm just, here alone in the room. This is why I really want to have a stream buddy so I could, ask along the Google dig. Excavate on Google. Yeah, I really, really, really love finding the origin stories. There's a lot of similarities, and I think that's why I don't know. The differences between religions have never sparked any form of anything other than fascination, curiosity, and adoration from myself. The art has always grabbed me from every single group of humans to ever have existed. The art and what they make with their hands. I find no difference in every human to myself, meaning something as simple as like we all bleed red. I don't remove myself from I was raised an only child, so at a very young age I began to put myself in other people's shoes just for a more wider understanding, because I only see the world from my eyes, and not everyone is, awkward only child crafter in Florida, so my worldview is going to be totally different, and that's what I love that. And a lot of the same patterns, a lot of similar patterns, I won't say the same. And of course the symbolism, incredible. Like, we're all living under the same sky. We're surrounded by different plants, different land shapes, different types of water. And like the salinity of all the seas are drastically different from one another. Different species grow up exist eating different things based on surroundings, whatever. We're all under the same sky. We all require the sun, the same sun. It's the same sun on the entire planet. The entire planet, same sun, same moon. Same planet. Like, that's why I don't ever see myself arguing. Debating, yes. Discussing, yes. But arguing, like, for the sake of, like, I'm right and you're wrong, I don't know what I'm right about. That's why I'll just keep repeating it. How I take the saying, ignorance is bliss, isn't that, like, ignorance is bliss, don't learn anything because, like, no. Ignorance is bliss, meaning, like, I know nothing for sure. And, like, I have to say too, and I also often hear it, is the more I learn, the less I know, and the less I feel I know. And it's 100%, like, exactly how I feel. And it doesn't matter how many, like, little rabbit holes I go every single time I run into a new name, a new place, a new symbol, a new, like, combination of symbols. And, like, one story which, it's just really disheartening. There's part of me that's like, I'm glad life stuff happens that avoided me to, avoided me to filter myself through my real goal on this planet, because archaeology is so stagnant, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all. Like, they act like, I don't mean archaeologists, I mean like archaeology, like the whole mess. They act like everything's already been found and like cataloged and understood, and I don't know, and I get that, like, you can't constantly be rewriting history, but you kind of have to, and because it matters a lot. I mean, you see people like fighting now about ancient. I love studying ancients like that. Like, it's not ammunition. It's human history, and we don't know like how many times our families and ancestors bounced around this planet. And so I don't foresee myself ever like I think it's all just as valuable as anything else, and also like learning the plants that they used. It makes gardening that much more like fulfilling, like growing historical plants or using like historical lifestyles as kind of like a guide of things to grow, and that will produce useful materials, and people were a lot more connected with their surroundings than they are now, unfortunately. My friend said he hated the sun. Like, he wasn't just saying that, he hates the sun. That's crazy. In my opinion, that's wild. But anyway, my phone is pretty much dead, so I'm going to charge this and do some house cleaning, and probably immediately take off this sweatshirt because it's been very stressful wearing this. Just got a yard sale. It's kind of like I don't know, but it's still nice feeling, and I know it's not gonna last very long, considering within 2 seconds of putting a white shirt on, and this is just like hangout clothes because it's gotta be comfortable. And these skirts are made with old saris. You can find them on eBay for like $5 for $35. They're reversible. I got this one in high school for my birthday, and shopping gave it to me. But really cool fabric and patterns, and they're all different. Like, you couldn't get the same one twice. And really great gifts, and great things to keep in your car in case, like, you go swimming and need something to wrap on, and or for a friend. And yeah, if you look up silk sari wrap skirts, they're pretty easy to come by. But I tell you what, this very thin fabric, I don't sweat in it. Very breezy. Florida, perfect. And I've had very thick fabric skirts. I've had every fabric I could possibly come across. Nothing has held up like these. And they're wrap skirts, so like bodies change all the time. So it's able to, you could fit in it whenever. And the material is just very breathing. And silk is just, it's very, it doesn't feel like it's as intense as it is. Silk is great fabric. I love silk. And sorry worms, but caterpillars. Anyway, happy trails. If anybody has any, oh, my hair really is looking like this the whole time. I am sorry to do this to any human, but I'm getting bangs. Getting them. I've had bangs my whole life. I just can't stand having to like clip my hair back. every time I see in like an action movie or something, and the lady's like running around with the, like, you know, causing all this damage with her piece, and with her hair in her face, I'm like, there's no way that she could see anything. Cause like I could have like a few pieces of hair in my face and I'm knocking everything over. So it really drives me nuts. But yeah, happy trails, and feel free to make any recommendations. I didn't get much done, but I lost my headphones. What is here? I don't really rewatch my streams, but I think I have to see like if I set them down in here, because they're for real just gone, and I can't survive without headphones. My music taste is all over the place, and some of the stuff I listen to is shockingly crude, and I can't play that out loud. I'm very picky with my crudeness, I will say that. Like, I don't like the redundant, like, meaningless, I don't know what it's like, but, you know, like, I know a lot of people give Azalea Banks all kinds of help, but whatever. I think, I don't listen to like a ton of rap. I like Lil' Kim, like her old stuff. I don't know, there's something about Lil' Kim I really like. I don't ask myself many questions. If I like something, I like it. And Azalea Banks, I freaking love her music. She's so clever, and she practices West African tradition, not Palo Mayombe, but Palo Sante, and it might be like Afro-Caribbean. My mind is a little muddled, but so many people like are saying like she's demonic, this and that. I couldn't believe it. That's why, see, freedom of religion is very important, but, like, embrace, like, all, not just some. There's value and beauty in everything, and, I know a lot of those traditions are whatever, something, and I don't see it. My personal favorite author is Zora Neale Hurston, and, her collections of folklore, and incredible human. I really want to go to is it Fort Myers? Fort something. Maybe not. I forgot. I really want to visit her grave though. She's one of the first authors. It's her, Hemingway, and Bukowski when I was in middle school. I was very into the three of them. And I really liked traveling to experience, like, but on the ground level. I don't mean like going to see the Eiffel Tower or whatever. I mean like traveling for the minds of man. It's really just something that fascinates me deeply. And I am very thought driven. Everything that I make has started off with an idea, and so ideas, you know, like magnets. How do they work? Or something. But anyway, happy trails. I'm not kidding about the ideas though. Ideas are my favorite things on this planet. Like, I'd rather have good ideas rather than, like, what was I gonna say? Happy trails! I was gonna say orgasms, but